Yesterday, we started the topic of verbs. Verbs are doing words. Anything to do with action is a verb. And we've had practice over the past few weeks in identifying what the verbs are in a sentence. You cannot find the subject of a sentence without knowing what the verb is. So I think that everyone has the capacity to easily find the verb. Now that we have gotten introduced to nouns and finished our first test on nouns and developed a little bit of familiarity with the declensions, we move into verbs. Before we see Sanskrit verbs, we saw English verbs yesterday. English verbs, the verb to study, if you take, and you want to write the conjugation table. In verbs, we talk about conjugations, not declensions. If you're writing the conjugation table, you say, I study, you study, he, she, it studies, we study, you all study, they study, or they all study. Some version of this, right? In Sanskrit, I had introduced that we also have a dual, where it's not just I study and then they study, it's I study, we too study, we all study. So there's a whole dual section added into the verbal conjugations. And I also mentioned in English, we conjugate verbs in first, second, third person, meaning I, you, he, she, it. But in Sanskrit, traditionally, it's done third person, second person, first person, because, well, one of the philosophical reasons is in Bharatiya Samskriti, the emphasis on the other is more than the emphasis on oneself. And the language reflects it in a very cool way. I think it's very cool. Okay, so now your homework yesterday was to do the sentences and write the conjugation of the verbs as well. So we'll go through it one by one, and then we will get into Sanskrit verbs after that. So Rama's padukas are with Bharata in Ayodhya. First, what is our verb? Our verb is are. What are padukas are? So padukas is first case dual, because there's two. Lord Rama will not have 3 or 4 or 5 that he's wearing that are with Bharata. I mean, he may have more, but the ones that are with Bharata are 2. So his pair of padukas, 2 padukas, so that is dual. Padukas dual are with Bharata. So now you have to figure out the verb. What person and what number? So what person is padukas? First person, second person, or third person? It's a it. So it is third person. Third person, and it is dual. It matches the subject. It is dual. Okay. Then you finish the rest of the sentence. Rama's sixth case singular, Bharata is third case singular, and Ayodhya is seventh case singular. I hope that you all tried out writing the correct declension. It was very easy. I mean, the word is right there. The number and the case is right there. You just have to do a little math with the declension. Okay. All right. Next. From Sankalpa, desire is born in the heart for a variety of objects at the mall. So what is our verb? Is born. You'll see is born. Is born is the verb. What is born? Desire. So desire becomes our first case singular. That is our subject. Is desire first, second, or third person? It is third person. Not first person because it is first case. It is third person, right? Desire is a it. It is born. Singular desire, so singular verb. Third person singular is our verb. Is born. Then we do the rest. From Sankalpa, fifth case singular. In the heart, seventh case singular. For a variety, fourth case singular. Of objects, sixth case plural. At the mall, seventh singular. We're not doing this, we're just reviewing what you've already done. That's why I'm going fast, right? And then those who did the Sanskrit, Sankalpat, Kamaha, Hridaye. Okay. All right, next. On Krishna's birthday, the two of us had cake and ice cream with butter for breakfast. Which two? You don't know. Me and somebody else or me and Krishna, that's up to your imagination. But on Krishna's birthday, this is what happened, right? Now, what is the verb? The verb is had. Hmm? Who had? The two of us had. So the subject is, it's first case dual. The two of us is first case dual. First case dual, now you take back the verb. The two of us, is it first person, second person, or third person? Well, us. I, we, us, like that, right? So just first person. First person. And because there's two of us and it's dual here, the verb will also be dual. So first person, dual. What did we have? We had cake, second case singular. We had ice cream, second case singular. Then you do the rest. On Krishna's birthday. So it's Krishna is not seventh case, Krishna is sixth case. That has the apostrophe. The birthday is the one with the seventh case. With butter, third case singular. For breakfast, fourth case singular. And Krishna becomes Krishnasya. And I realized I could have given you all birthday also because it's a simple neuter word. Janmadina is birthday. And in seventh case, that would become Janmadine. Just for fun. Okay. So far, so good? The monkeys tried to eat the jewels from Vibhishana in Lanka. True story. When you read Ramayana, you'll see this. What is our verb? I'm going slowly for everyone to train their mind on how to resolve the sentences. It's not just start in one corner and go. You have to do the process of asking the question. What is the verb? What is the subject? What is the person of the verb? That is the most important thing in resolving sentences, right? So what is our verb? Tried to eat. Tried to eat is the verb. Who tried to eat? The monkeys. So the monkeys is first plural, masculine. Then monkeys is first, second, or third person. Third person. And plural, plural. So our verb is third person, plural. What did they try to eat? They tried to eat the jewels. Second person, second case, plural. From Vibhishana. Fifth case, singular. In Lanka, seventh case, singular. Then it would be Vanaraha, Ratnani, Na. Normal Na because there's a blocking Ta. Vibhishana. Okay. 5. There are over 300 mandirs in Guyana and they are all beautiful. Again, true story. Right? Come to Guyana and see our beautiful mandirs. Okay. What is our verb? There are. What are? Mandirs are. So mandir is our subject. First plural is what mandirs is. So now you take the verb again. Is mandirs first, second, or third person? Mandirs is a it, so it is a third person. Third person, and it is plural. Then we go to the rest. In Guyana, 7 singular. And they are. You see now, there's a second verb which we didn't find in the beginning. They are. They, which is the they? Again, it's the same mandirs. So third person, again, plural. Okay. Why did I not write anything for beautiful? Because beautiful is an adjective and we haven't done adjectives yet. That is the only reason. Don't worry, we will get there. Okay. Okay. Now, so then mandira becomes mandirani. Number 6. Now, you will see so many verbs here. You have to read the whole sentence. From space comes air. From air comes fire. From fire comes water. From water comes earth. And from earth we come. I didn't make up these sentences. I mean, I made them up, but I used Vedanta. This is what Vedanta says. I just put it in English right here, right? So, what is our verb? Our verb is comes, but it comes multiple times. Each time you have to write it, the person and the number. So what comes? Space come. No, see, from space comes air. So what comes? Air comes, not space. Air is our subject. Okay, so subject is air, and air is third person singular. Air comes, fifth case singular, from space. Space is fifth singular. Okay, now this exact equation is just replicated over and over. You just have to get the number correct. Fire comes from air. Here in this case, it is also singular. Then water comes from fire. Then earth comes from water. And then finally, the only different one is from earth we come. So now come is the verb, we is the subject, and we is first person. We is also plural. So first person plural is this verb. That may have been the one tricky part in there. Now, if you did the Sanskrit, Akasha becomes Akashat, Anala becomes Analaha, and then from fire again, Analat, Jala becomes Jalam and Jalat, and Bhuvanam and Bhuvanat. Okay. If you did the homework, this is just checking your homework. And if you didn't do the homework, you can't write it fast enough what to say, right? Okay. Now let us go to, I can see some people frantically trying to copy everything down. It means you didn't do your homework. If you don't do homework daily, you will be behind. You will feel overwhelmed in class. Okay. All right. Now let us go to Sanskrit verbs. I will take all questions at the end of class. I want to introduce you all to verbs today. But we need the help of this. When we have longer classes, we actually draw it in class. And when they're in person, we have to draw it in class. But I had a chance to practice my terrible drawings before I got to you guys today. Okay, so it looks a little better than normal, I think. Now, what is this? This is one of Guyana's favorite vegetables. It is called, with many different names. It's called baigan. It is called belange. It is called eggplant. In Ghana, it is called garden eggs. Whatever you call it, right? We're going to use this to talk about verbs. This eggplant, when you go to buy it from the market and you bring it and you put it on your counter or in the fridge, and you decide today we're going to eat baigan choka. We're going to eat some version of eggplant, whatever you make. Can you take this eggplant as it is and put it in the pot? No. You have to process it first. So the first thing you have to do, just listen, you don't need to draw this in your book. It has actually nothing to do with the notes you're going to take. Right? If you are going to cook it, the first thing you have to do is you have to remove the stem that is there. This will have a stem, carrots will have a stem, everything will have an end or a beginning or something that we remove. So the first thing we do is we remove a piece from the vegetable. True or false? If you don't cook, you can imagine that this is how cooking works. Okay? You remove something first. Then, next step, you take it and you cut it further because you're not going to put that whole thing in the pot under normal circumstances. You cut it further. Then, if you want it to taste really good, you use a fireplace. You don't use a stove. Huh? And you cook it on the fireplace or on the chulha. And I hope everybody knows what this thing is called. You know the thing you blow with? What's it called? Pukni, I think it's called. Ah, okay, got it. Then, because you cooked it on the fireplace, it tastes delicious and you can eat it. Now you don't eat the whole pot, you eat a little bit, unless you're really hungry or I don't know. Hmm? So now, what does this have to do with our verbs? Oh, wait. One important thing I forgot to tell. In Indian cooking, you cannot cook by just putting garlic and onion in the food. But you cannot cook by just putting salt and pepper in the food. Correct? You have to put at least 100 other things. Okay, maybe not 100, but if you don't know what this is the trusted Indian auntie's masala box. Hmm? Masala box. It's a little round silver box. And in there, it has little round things that have different spices in them. And the auntie opens, or the uncle, or anybody, opens the masala box and takes the spices that they want and cooks with them. This is how cooking works under normal circumstances. Yes. Now we're going to use this template to understand how Sanskrit verbs work. Let's go to the beginning. In Sanskrit, I'm going to use only English words, okay? We have something called a verb root. A verb root. It is the most basic form, it is the most fundamental part of the language that you will find. Like pat. Pat means to study or to read. Okay. You cannot take this pat and use it in the language directly. It has to be refined first. So this verb root, pat, has to be refined and some piece of it has to be cut off. What is cut off? Well, in the simplest version, that is what we are doing right now. You take the pat and you cut off the halan. So pat becomes, without the halant, it becomes patha. So far, so good? All we did is we took the root pat and we cut off the halant and we got patha. This thing is called the verb base. When you've taken a verb root and you've cut off the halant, now you are ready to use it in the language. It is called the verb base. So you have a verb root, it becomes a verb base by removing the halan. Now you take this patha and you're going to replicate it into multiple pieces. And then to these multiple pieces, you are going to add different endings, different masalas, different spices. Like ami, avah, and so on. We'll meet the endings in one moment. Does everyone follow what I just said? Verb root becomes verb base. Verb base is what you use in the conjugation. So now let me introduce you to your first Sanskrit verb conjugation. Don't write yet, just listen. I will give you time to write, okay? Just listen. This is our verb root, but this verb root becomes patha by removing the halan. Then you take patha and you write it 9 times. You cut it into 9 pieces, right? 9 times you see patha. Not pat, patha. Then to each of those, you add an ending. Ami, avaha, amaha, si, thaha, tha, ti, taha, anti. And I've written it in English. First time, right? So I've written it in English also for those who need the help of the transliteration. This table, what exactly is going on here? Well, the first line is our first person. Remember I said we'll follow the English style. First line is first person. Second line is second person. Third line is third person. Then what is the first column? I think y'all can guess. Singular, then dual, then plural. So in English, okay, let me make more space. In English, how would this be translated? Pathami will be what? If pat is to read or study, pathami will be I study. But let's say read for simplicity, right? I read. Patavaha will be what? We to read. Don't worry, I will give you all time to write. And pathamaha is we all read. So far, so good? Simple? Simple. Then, next line. Pathasi will be what? The first one will be you read. The next one will be you to read. And the last one will be you all read. Or you three or you four or whatever the number is, right? Meaning you plural read. And then the last line will be he, she, it reads. They two read. And then they all read. Now let us pronounce these, and I'll tell you. Those whose videos are off, please turn them on. I shouldn't have to tell you that we're like weeks into class. Okay, so repeat after me. Shahendra. Pathami.
Pathami.
Pathavaha.
Pathamaha.
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 Pathasi.
Patasi.
Pathathaha.
Patataha.
Pathatha. No, not taha.
No. Yeah.
Pathathaha.
Patataha.
Pathatha.
Patata.
Pathati.
Pathati.
Pathataha.
Pathataha.
Pathanti.
Pathanti.
Okay, thank you. Everybody, please look. This is thaha and this is taha. So everybody who is having issues with Mahaprana and saying taha for taha, you will not know which verb you are talking about. Because the only difference between them is the Mahaprana. You have to say taha if it is taha, and you have to say taha if it is taha. Okay, so you have to pronounce it properly. This is our conjugation in Sanskrit. Now, we had made a song for the kids when we taught it to them, and I was thinking maybe you all might want to know the song too. So get ready. You can use the English side if you want. And it goes like this. Ami avaha amaha sithaha tha titaha anti. Ami avaha amaha sithaha tha titaha anti. Ami avaha amaha sithaha tha titaha anti. How about that? So you just listen to that in your head over and over and over, and then you learn the endings, and then you're good to go. Hmm? So this is how Sanskrit verb conjugations work. Again, I will recap. You take a verb root to the verb, from the verb root, you remove the halant, you make it a verb base. That verb base is what you will have 9 times over and over again. And to each of those patha, each of those verb bases, you add a different ending or a different masala, and you get your conjugation table. Pathami, pathabaha, pathamaha. Everybody say. Everybody. Pathasi, pathathaha, pathatha. Pathati, pathataha, pathanti. Okay, this is our conjugation table. Please, this is for present tense verbs. This is not for every single verb. I mean, you don't go and say, I ate, I studied, and you use this one. This is for present tense, right? So we've learned the present tense. Now, your homework is going to be to write out this table. First thing, your homework is going to be to write out this table, and I want you to write it with 2 different colors. Whichever 2 colors you want, you choose. The base will be one color and the ending will be one color, so you can see it clearly. Some people like to highlight the base, right? You can, if you don't want to use colors, you can use highlighters. Some people like to highlight the base. Others like to highlight the addition. So whichever way your brain thinks, you can either use a different color to write it, or you can write it in the same color and highlight a different piece of it. Okay, but write it. And so that is one piece of your homework. Second piece of homework is to do the same thing for cod and for arch. Cod means to eat, and arch means to worship. And you're going to write the same, you're going to write it in Sanskrit and in English, right? Just like this exact table you're going to replicate. Okay, so you're going to do the table for cod and for arch. Watch out, arch has a ra over there. So watch where he goes. I'll do closing prayer now and then I will take questions. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Sakranath Maharaj Ki Jai